this new ChatGPT feature might be too powerful, because last time, just using this terrible picture and simple text prompts, I was able to create this 10 out of 10 email campaign, and you can do that for free. But after a week of using that new feature, my results just got even crazier. So let me show you how I turned this photo into a high converting email for an e-commerce brand. Okay, so in the first step, I just gave ChatGPT 2 images of my product just so he could understand what to actually create in the ads, right? And this is a prompt I used. Here are 2 images of my product. The first one is the actual gummy that we're selling, and the second one is the actual packaging. Review both and reply okay when you did. And I find that doing this step right here generate way better results after. Sometimes when I don't do that, the results are a bit all over the place. But as soon as I do that, like typically performances are way better. And now for the second step, if you look at this picture right here, this is the exact type of photo I was trying to come up with for this brand. So I just went to the Facebook ad library and kind of looked at the competition, what they were doing, because I was fairly confident like I could find a picture like this one right here. So I ended up finding this competitor, Swoley Supplements, and then I just scrolled down their ad library. I ended up landing on this ad. I don't know if you can see it. I'll just remove myself for a little bit. But yeah, this is the ad I found, and then I right-clicked on it, saved image as, and then I downloaded it on my computer. Then I went back to ChatGPT, uploaded the ad, and inputted the prompt right here. Now, by the way, for the rest of this video, all of the prompt that I will use, especially like this one, which is super useful, I'll add them all to a file and I'll show you how you can get access to it later. But anyway, this is the exact image that ChatGPT came up with first. And this is already like very, very solid. I really like it. But for an email specifically, this will not be enough, right? We still need to go a bit further. So I asked ChatGPT to modify the camera angle so it's the same as in the original ad. Because if you look at it here, the angle is just weird, and it makes the product look like less important. I know like this is me nitpicking because this is already very solid, but if you look at the output here, this is way better, like at least 2 times better. So this is very solid. Now there are 2 issues with it. One, inside of the actual packaging, you have blueberries, and we're not selling blueberries here, we're selling gummies. So I had to tweak that. And then also the package is not like the same as in the original picture that I added. ChatGPT just deleted the text. So what I did was select this picture and then go here, select, and then you're able to highlight sections that you want ChatGPT to edit. So I kind of did this. I'm doing it roughly for the video, but I actually took my time when I did it. And then you can input the prompt. ChatGPT will then only edit the selection that you just did. And this is like insanely useful. So I'll click on the cross right here and show you the prompt. Add all of the text from the original packaging. Also, the content of that pack should be gummies, not blueberries, right? And check the difference right here. It added the text and it changed the content of the packaging, which is amazing, right? But now the front of the pack looks empty because before you had like blueberries in the front. It looks very good, aesthetically speaking, but now you don't have that anymore. So I kind of had to bring back the blueberries again. And so I kind of made a selection, selected this area of the screen right here. I'm doing it roughly, but this is exactly what I did. And you need to take your time with that because otherwise you'll get a terrible output. And then I told this to ChatGPT, add blueberries here. Check out the output and it is like very, very solid. Now, the only thing I wanted to change about that picture is how ChatGPT cropped the blueberries here. I don't like that at all because if I want to use this picture in an email now, it won't look that good. Now I can fix it with Photoshop, other design tool. I can just use a super complicated process, but ChatGPT can fix it. So I told him like, actually do fix it yourself. So I tried twice actually. This was the first prompt. This was the second one. And both of them did not work. As you can see, like, let me actually show you 2 output, but none of them worked. And typically I do not recommend you do that, right? Write one prompt and then edit on top of it, because usually every single time that you do that, the results that come after will be terrible. This time I got lucky. It comes up with something terrible after usually. So now this is a prompt that finally worked after like 2 attempts. And this is the one I'll share with you by the end of this video. So you can read it on your own, but essentially what I did is zoom out exactly like I wanted. So as you can see, this is the one I ended up using in step 3 and that I later used all throughout this email design. And so to create this section of the email, I had to create another picture actually. And this is what I did, very similar process. So I attached the picture of this flavor and then I told ChatGPT, create me a similar image for this new flavor. It did, but I just forgot to remove the blueberries and replace it with these mangoes and peaches. So I told him to do that. It did. And then I told him to remove the background because it will be useful later in the email. And then I downloaded this picture and used it for the email. I'll show you the process right now. Okay, so now that I had this amazing image, I kind of needed to finalize the email design in 4 steps. So number 1 is creating a background that is similar to the image itself, just so the email has that premium feel. And then I moved on to the next one, which is creating my main sections, right? So the first one is going to be the above the fold section. So this right here, the bit that I'm highlighting, is going to be the first thing people see when they open your email. So by far the most important. I added massive headline and a big call to action that people can click on right after they open without having to scroll. This is massive. And then I added the testimonial right here, just in case people aren't ready to click on it or click on this button right away. And then the last section is just going to be a way for the reader to buy after they've been convinced by the rest of the email, essentially. And then moving on to step 3, my main focus here was just designing that section. I wanted to make it look extremely good, because if you can make a good product block after people have been convinced by the rest of your email, that section will get you a ton of sales. So I just wanted to apply myself here. And then after that, step 4 was just adding the last finishing touches to the email. So this right here, I added it earlier, but that would count as a finishing touch to me. Then here, just a bit of a transition. I'll click out of it so you can see, but yeah, quick transition, emojis right here. I think it's a good fit for this brand. Just this wave right here is just also good to transition from one section to another. And then these last finishing touches, like this store right here, this little effect. And the reason I add all of these details to emails, right, it's not just for branding. That plays a role, of course, but that's not my main goal. Truthfully, I've noticed, like with all of my clients, every time, like looking premium increases how much people trust you, and it increases the average order value that you get out of emails. You cannot necessarily notice it from email to email, but long term, this is definitely something I've noticed. Now, all of the prompts that you can see on the screen right now, I've compiled them all in the last chapter of my $0 to $1 million email marketing guide. So if you want to get access to that for free, you can click on the first link in the description. But if you want to build emails faster and easier using AI, you absolutely need to watch this video next anyway.